All right, welcome everyone. If you got a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Chase, go ahead.
How'd you turn things around in the second quarter and with the use of some lineups I don't think we've seen yet this season?
Well, we changed it up. We didn't come ready to play. Everybody got to lock in. That's what your job is to do. Come in and ready to play good minutes. You're not going to make every shot. You're not going to make every play, but you got to be locked in. You can't lose the mental game, and we did that in that first quarter. Gave them eight threes. I think 17 attempts. I was more concerned with the 17 attempts. That was on pace for a record. And then the second quarter, I think they only had one for whatever, 7 or 1 for 8. I thought Rui and Rolo changed the game. Rui was guarding a lot of times 1 through 5. Switched out on one of the best guards in the league, one of the best shot makers in the league, one of the best crafty players in the league. He did a good job. And then Rolo did a good job of doing containing, making him take tough shots, getting them inside the 3, and making them miss some shots at the rim. But I thought that was huge. And then Bonga hasn't played in a long time, middle of the game minutes, but tells you that he's been preparing for this opportunity. He came in, gave us 5 solid minutes. But I thought Russell and obviously Brad was incredible. Take away their turnovers, but they were solid throughout the game defensively. This team is hard to guard, and they're on a roll. They've won 6 games in a row, and they score a lot of points, and they take a lot of threes. And we did a pretty good job take away that first quarter from threes.
And what do you think about Russell's night? We've seen him have triple doubles before, but to go 11 of 17 from the field.
Thought he was, he's getting in a rhythm. He's getting in a rhythm. He's going to have more games like this. Guy's a championship player. How he prepares, how he talks to our guys, how he forces the team to be ready. And his voice was heard a lot in that first quarter. And that's what you want your leaders to do. But yeah, he shot the ball well. Turnovers, averaging a little over or whatever, under 5, trying to get that down into high 3s. But he just makes plays. He puts so much pressure on the defense. Still, we haven't made a lot of 3s, but we made the big ones when they counted. DB made 2 big ones. We needed them. And he didn't make anything prior to that, but he made the 2 count that he counted that we needed. And I thought, and then Rui made the free throws down the stretch, was great.
Fred.
Hey, Scott. Lillard, other than that third quarter, wasn't as much hitting the shots tonight. He's Dame, so he ends up with 35. But what did you think that you guys did against him that was at least working, if anything?
Well, we made some mistakes in that third quarter. The first play of the game, Russell went to help Brad guard Trent when Brad had him under control about this 8-foot mark on the left side, and they passed it out to a wide open 3. That got him going. Russell should have never did that. And then we made another mistake. We made 3 mistakes off of their start the third quarter, and they got all 3s on them. I thought we had bodies. I thought Russell did a good job of making them take tough shots, trying to get him to the side that we want him to go to. He's special going one way, and he's really good going the other way. So I like the chances are to make him go to the side he's only really good at. Great player, man. He had an off shooting night. We helped, but he did have some missed shots that he normally would make.
Ava.
Scott, you mentioned the defense, how it's been kind of better for longer stretches at a time, more consistently. What do you feel like you guys are doing differently, or do you chalk it up to kind of what you've been saying all along with getting games under you and your legs back a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I thought early in the season when we lost a bunch of close games, it was mainly that we weren't really in a good rhythm for a lot of different reasons. But we kept saying we need games, we need games. Well, February has given us games, and that's what we need. We're going to get. I think the last couple of days or games, I felt our legs were ready. We're ready to to play some consistent basketball on the defensive end. It's hard to be a good defensive team when you're not in great shape. And the reason why we're not in great shape, we missed 3 weeks in the middle of the season. And it wasn't because we got guys that are lazy and eating In-N-Out burgers. It's just that we had guys that missed a bunch of games and we didn't practice, and we haven't really practiced. But I think the defense the last 12 games has been really good. We just got to keep that up, have the defensive edge, and our offense is going to click once we start making some threes consistently.
And you mentioned Lopez's defense again. Is it just like you said last time, kind of he knows the timing, he knows all the little veteran moves to make, that he was able to change things in the second quarter?
Yeah, he's a high IQ basketball player. He knows what he does. He's not the quickest guy in the league, but he knows his angles. And to me, that's important to the big. You don't have to be quick. You got to be smart. You got to know your skill set. And he knows it. He's been around enough players and he's guarded enough guards coming at him. He knows how much room he needs to give them. And we just told him, just get him off the 3-point line, help your guard. And once he is, just meet the guard at the rim, make him make a tough shot over you. And then in the second half, we did a much better job of boxing out on Cantors. I thought in that first quarter, he dominated us, just threw us around and got every offensive rebound. And those are frustrating. You make a good player miss a shot, and then their big just cleans it up and gets the rebound. But I thought Rolo's toughness throughout this game, I played him a lot of minutes straight too. And I called some extra timeouts and they called a timeout. So I was just going to keep riding with them. But I know he was exhausted. We'll give him the day off tomorrow.
Royce Young.
Hey, Scott, obviously you've been around Russell for a long time, and with this season being so difficult for him, maybe it's fair to say this has been one of the most difficult seasons of his career, up and down, heavy, inconsistent swings for him. What have you seen from his attitude and the way that he's shown up and kind of gotten through some of these heavy ups and downs throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the ups and downs as you're stating, but I see his shot as ups and downs, but that's not, I don't predicate. I mean, his game is not based on making and missing shots. His game on is leading us. We're a young group of guys that need a veteran guy like him. Brad has did a good job, but he couldn't be the only one the last few years with John, missing all the games he missed. But Russell's he has set the tone, and our guys are much more in tune how to prepare to win a game. We still got to play better to win games. He has to play better to win games, but he rebounds, he passes, he needs to clean up his turnovers and his shots, 3 or 4 shots a game that he can wipe away. But he's led us so many ways that I don't even want to get into, because our players know it. You can ask any player on this team and they know that he means business. This is not a hobby for him. And a lot of times in this league, people look at it as a hobby. It's fun. It's, we get to do something we love. And I get that, but it's still your job. It's your livelihood. It's how you represent your organization, your city, your family, your coaches. And Russell does that at the highest level I've seen. I've been with him a long time in OKC, and he's always been a player that wanted to get better, that gave everything he had and left everything on the practice court and the game court. And he's done that for us. He's given us a pathway to how to be a championship level player. And our young guys need it. Sometimes they don't understand how hard he is on them, but they're going to realize it in years to come that's how you start your career off the right way, by being around good players. We've seen it time and time again. Young players around bad veterans is a disaster. And we've seen it many times. I've seen it as a player, but Russell's and Brad are great examples for our younger players to look up to.
Thanks, Scott.
Kellen?
Hey Scott, just going off that, what impact has Russ had on Brad, in impact and influence had on Brad?
Well, I mean, Russell's a high level player in itself, but what he's done, he's helped Brad. And Brad said it. He gave a lot of credit to Russell to be an all-star starter. And Russell knows how special Brad is. And they get along. I mean, it seems like they've been playing for a while, and it's only going to get better. They have a good feel. They have a good respect for one another, and they can get on each other. And they do it more than probably guys think they do. They look at each other and they know, okay, it's time. It's time to, step up and lead this group. I couldn't ask for two better players to have during this awkward season, that all the things that's happened to us. And when having those two guys help us along the way and not let go of the rope when, every time, you look around that somebody wants to say something, about, this team, we're just going to keep fighting. And you have fighters as your leaders. It's going to pay dividends. And sometimes it's going to take longer than you want it. But if you keep doing the right things every day and don't get bored with that, that's how you find success.
Fred?
You said me, Matt? Sorry. Well, I'm
Yep.
gonna say you said me. Okay.
Your hand is up, right, Fred?
Scott, it was up. There was this kind of crazy analytical trend with you guys for the first 25-ish games of the year, where teams were hitting a crazy amount of open shots against you. And I know you attributed that a lot to your closeouts and the types of open shots teams were taking. Over this 4-game winning streak, that's kind of gone down. I'm wondering how much of that you attribute to just stuff evening out, and how much of that you attribute to stuff you guys have corrected over these 4 games.
Well, we even more than the 4 games, we've changed some things up. Don't want to get into them, but we've changed some things up. And like I told the players after that first quarter, this is the only way that really guaranteed the guy missing a 3. It's the only way. And I recommend that they try it in the second quarter. Don't let them shoot it. When you don't shoot it, they don't make it. And I thought we did a better job of that. And then when they do shoot it, you got to close out. You got to close out to that shot. You can't close out with this sorry, closeout and expect them to miss. These are high-level players in this league, and shots are plentiful from the threes. And and even when you do, like Lillard hit the end of the quarter shot, that was from 40 feet out with the contest. That's what great players do. But we weren't contesting all the way. And you can show it. You can take guys out of the lineup. You can take guys off their minutes. And that's what you got to keep doing. And I think there's the last 10 or 12 games, we've definitely played much better defensively, but I think we're contesting shots. And I give Rui a lot of credit. And that's hard. It's hard when you're a 4 in this league and you have to switch out on 1, 2, 3s, and 4s, and we plays 5. He has to guard 1 through 5. It's hard. It's hard to know your own man, his tendencies, but now you got to know the 4 other guys on the floor, and you got to know at game speed, and you got to be able to see it, react, internalize it, and make it happen. And I give him credit. He's starting to see it, and he's still not even finished a rookie year.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have for Coach.
All right, you guys go to bed now.
Thanks, Coach. Chase, go ahead.
Hey, Russ, what do you think keyed the turnaround there for you guys starting in the second quarter?
Just a feeling. We start off a little. I don't think we started off slow. I thought we did a good job initially. Then we gave up a big quarter. I think we had about 41 points or so, 43 points to be exact. And after that, we locked in defensively. We did a good job in the second quarter to kind of regroup and get ourselves together.
And what was working for you in particular, not just getting the triple-double, but shooting a high percentage?
I can't hear you. What do you say? I didn't hear the end of it.
Oh, sorry. What was working for you in particular tonight? You know, not just the triple double, but shooting over 60%.
Oh shit! I made shots. I usually make. That's it. Which will come. You know, just continue. I stay locked in and stay sticking to my routine. Like every season, I know it's a long season, and I'm a guy that wants to create consistency and get better as the season goes along. And I just make shots I normally make. So obviously, I did a good job of that tonight and concentrating and focusing on that.
Ava?
Russell, it seems like you guys are playing better defense for longer stretches of time, kind of more consistently. What do you feel like was the difference the past couple of games that kind of sparked that?
I think doing a good job of just, letting the other team know that we're here, and that we're going to be physical. We're going to stand our ground and make it tough for them. I thought we did a hell of a job of that tonight. I mean, they ended up shooting 35% from the field, and we can't ask for better defense than that. And I thought we did a hell of a job.
What's most key to you when you're dealing with the time change on the other coast for your routine, like to make sure that you're successful going into a game?
You know what? I've been playing on the West Coast for so long. It's not that crazy of adjustment. I didn't think about it much, to be honest. Kind of felt like a normal time for me.
Royce?
Hey, Russ, with the way that this season has kind of gone for you with some of the kind of nagging injuries getting at you, the ups and downs that have kind of taken place, I know better than to ask you if you ever had any kind of doubts about, getting back to your elite level, but was there any point where you were kind of rethinking your approach or how you wanted to get back to playing at?
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, started the year at Royce, I was, debating, and it's a difficult spot for me, honestly, because I'm a guy that likes to, I don't like to let my teammates down. I want to make sure that I'm able to be available for them, even if I'm not 100%. And that's just something that I've always done. It's probably not the best thing to do, but obviously, as I've gotten older, like I said, I had to stop. Because I wasn't able to explode and move the way I needed to. And now I'm feeling, a lot better. I'm able to move around and explode and get by people and make an impact on the game on both sides of the floor. And kind of as the season goes along, I'll definitely get better. And I'm not worried about that one bit.
Gotcha. Thanks, Russ.
Nice to see you, Royce.
Yeah, you too, man.
Fred?
Hey, Russell. You've played so many times against Dame in so many different environments. When people say the trick is you just got to try to make his life difficult, what does making Dame's life difficult entail when you're guarding him?
He's gonna take tough shots. He's gonna toughen. He's gonna take tough ones. He's gonna make tough ones. That's what great players do. You just gotta make them shoot a volume number of shots and shoot over the top. Like I said, he's a good player, and obviously he's been great this season. And my job is to make sure that I'm able to just kind of keep pursuing and make the game tough for him and make him take tough shots.
Thanks, Russ.
Zach?
Russ, you kind of talked to us a little bit about that bank shot that you hit a few times tonight. I know you work on it a lot. Like, where did that come about? I know Tim Duncan, kind of patented that in his day too.
Well, honestly, when I was younger, me and my dad, we used to work out and call it the cotton shot off the glass, and it's something that I've always done since I was in high school, middle school. So it's basically a shot that when I miss it, I'm so disappointed in myself because I've been working on my whole life. But it's something that I've been doing for a long time.
Thanks.
Christos?
Hello, Russ. Congratulations on the win, the performance as well.
Thank you.
Do you believe that this win and the way that you won tonight is a kind of a statement about your potential as a team and also about your partnership with Bradley? Do you believe that this game proves that you can fit perfectly on the court with him?
I definitely think it was a good win, good road win, just the first one of our trip. But we're moving in the right direction as a team. The wins and then play the game the right way, the wins will come. And I think got to give a lot of credit to Coach Brooks because he's not getting enough credit when we lose. They always I look at the head coach, but when we win, they don't give him a lot of credit. And he's doing a hell of a job of making sure that we are playing at the best we can play, putting us in position to be great. And he's done a hell of a job and making sure we get back on track. And that's for me and Brad, man, we figuring out. My job is to make sure I continue to push him and bring the best out of him every night. That's what I'm trying to do.
Thank you.
All right, that's all the time I got for Russ. Appreciate you.
Yep.
We're gonna have Robin up here in just a sec.
Hey, Robin. Coach Brooks said several times tonight that he was really impressed with Rui's defense, that he was guarding 1 through 5. And I saw in his post-game speech to you guys, he mentioned it as well. What did you see from Rui tonight defensively?
I think Rui's been magnificent on the defensive end the past couple weeks. He's really locked in. He's helping everybody. And like you said, he's been incredibly versatile. I think it's kind of a trickle-down effect. We get Mo in the starting lineup. He has a lot of energy. Russ has a lot of energy. And I think people start feeling that, and it's been contagious. It's been a lot of fun.
And what did you see from Russell Westbrook tonight? Statistically, it might have been his best game of the year so far.
I feel like it was a lot of fun because he was pushing everybody. He was pushing everybody to be better, and I think that's the thing I appreciated most about him tonight.
Royce.
Sorry, I had trouble with my mute. Hey, Robin, kind of piggybacking on the Westbrook thing. What have you seen from him throughout this season with, some of the adversity he's kind of dealt with? And I know there's been a lot of talk about kind of how he's stepped up as a voice in the locker room, but what have you seen from him and how he's kind of mentally approached some of the adversity that he's dealt with?
I think he's been fantastic. There's always a lot of attention on him, but I think, like you said, he's still being very vocal, still teaching. And I think he's done a wonderful job of figuring out exactly what his role is on this team with Brad out there and with a lot of young guys out there.
Fred.
All right, Robin, we'll make this a Russell Westbrook Zoom. I'm just curious from because you're 32 and have played on a bunch of teams, and you've seen a lot of different leadership styles. And what we hear from Russ is that or from other guys, that Russ will get on guys. And I'm wondering how you've seen young guys respond when Russ gets on them.
I think they've been very receptive because at the same time, Russ will get on you 1 second, but then when you make a mistake, he's also the first person picking you up sometimes. So I think people understand where it's coming from. He's only trying to make the person who made the mistake better. He's trying to make the team better.
And you've kind of, especially the last couple games, you guys have kind of played with like a 3 center rotation on like the first quarter. What's that been like for you, rotating that sort of way with that kind of uncertainty?
It's been a lot of fun, honestly. The 3 of us, Mo, Lex, we're all pulling for each other whenever the other's on the floor. So for me, I love it. The NBA, you see the opposite. You see teams going small. I love that we have 3 centers. We should have TB out here. We got to have 4 centers that we can put on the floor.
Last question to Quentin.
How you doing, Robin? I noticed that you guys played some really stifling defense, specifically in the paint, and it's just a lot of verticality, keeping your arms straight up. Has that been a focus for you guys? You guys are bottom in the league in fouls per game, but tonight, like the defense around the paint was impeccable. Was that a focus in practice or anything, or guys just kind of, I guess, clicked more often than not?
For sure, it's something we've been emphasizing. I know in a lot of our earlier games, teams were really blitzing us from the free throw line. They'd hit a lot of threes, get a lot of offensive rebounds, and get a lot of easy ones from the line. I think with us being better in that regard, if we can continue that, that's going to be big for us with each game.
Appreciate that, Robin.
All right, Robin. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead.
Brad, I'll try to keep it quick. I know you're going to mention all the things that you guys could have done a little bit better, but is this formula kind of the ideal formula going ahead, where you and Russ are kind of setting pace on offense and then the defense shows up?
First praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
we say it's a total opposite. Like everybody's involved. It's not just me and Russ just carrying the offense. We're keeping everybody involved, and then defensively, it takes all five. And we're being better at that. Everybody's accepting the individual challenge. We're helping each other, and it's all starting to click. We're not getting tired of doing the right things on the floor, and I think that's just been a testament to our maturity over the last few games.
Chase.
Brad, we've seen you have many nights like this, but not often a teammate play like they did, like Russ did tonight. What's it like when you're on the floor and then two guys are playing like stars like you guys were tonight?
It's great. Russ is an MVP guy. He's a Hall of Famer in our league, and it's just a matter of time before everything starts clicking for him. He holds himself to a high standard. He's just like me in that regard. He critiques himself very tough, and he knows that, he has to be the best version of himself every night, or at least he tries to be. And, tonight was one of those nights for us. He's a walking triple-double. And he's just a great teammate, great leader. He's everything we need him to be.
Zach.
Brad, coach talked a lot about Rui and his defense, and Robin said, the last couple of weeks he's been getting some energy from the starting unit too, just defensively and with energy. What have you seen with his defensive growth just from year one to year two, or maybe even like the beginning of year two to right now?
Well, Rui told us in a few practices ago that he can guard 1 through 5, and we're holding him to that standard, and he's holding himself to that, and he's doing it. So it's no surprise to us, honestly.
Christos.
Hello, Bradley. Congratulations on the win and the performance. Is this win and the way that you won tonight against the Blazers kind of a statement about your potential as a team and your partnership with Russell on the court?
We're not in the position to be making statements. We're just trying to come out and compete and win. We understand we still have an opportunity to make a nice little playoff run. We're just putting ourselves in position to do so. So, we're not worried about, the other side. We're controlling what we can control, and, we're not getting weary and doing good. We're going to continue to, do what we do at a consistent level, cheer on the next man, and continue to play scrambling defense. That's been our go-to for the last couple. So, we're just going to continue to, stick with what's been working.
Neil.
Brad, you had your then career high 51 at Portland. Do you buy in at all to, there are certain road arenas that, are just better for people?
No, Neil.
Just a groove?
I guess that's fair to say. I don't give a damn about anybody else who plays here in Portland. I care about me and my guys. But it's, I don't know. I don't pay attention to stats like that. I'm the least analytical guy on this Zoom.
So you don't really feel that like any other opposing arenas you maybe feel better in, it's all kind of the same?
Hey, Neil, I think I lead the league in scoring. I think I feel good every single night, no matter what arena we in. But
sure.
All right, we'll finish up with Quinn.
B, have you noticed anything particular in Davis's defense as of late? I looked at the Denver game and I saw a few clips where I was like, oh, that's good. And tonight he held his own against Carmelo and those guys. Have you seen anything like that in his game on that side of the ball?
I think he's just accepting the challenge. Coach challenged him, Russ challenges him. We all do. And then I think us watching film, and he takes it as disrespect when guys want to, kind of call him out and pick and rolls. And, he does it. I think he's been really accepting that challenge, getting into a stance, altering the ball handler when he needs to, frustrating Melo as best as he can. We understand he's a Hall of Famer, great scorer. And he's been rebounding well. I think that's really, his big, push over the last few games is just him rebounding. I think that just gets him into the flow of the game.
you know, a lot better. You know, on the offensive end, we just want him to shoot every time he touches. So, but it's good, you know, Q, that he's able to, you know, accept that challenge on the defensive end, use his size, his body, and get in there and help us as best he can.
And where can I get one of those masks from? Just asking for a friend.
Well, oh yeah, I wear it all the time. But wifey makes these. You go to what is it, exokamaya.com.
Yeah.
Get you a nice little mask, man. Or go to wifey page, swipe up, 2 masks.
Thank you, brother. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Nice little plug there at the end.
For
Appreciate
wifey,
you, Brad. All right, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
All right.